What's up everyone to another video of Full Speed Impulse, and we are deep in this XR100 trying to get ready for the old big old Windrock trip. It's going to be freaking awesome, but we're going to deal with one of the problems today that a lot of people have with these older bikes and all that, and you don't want to go to buying a new like Chinese eBay tank. We're trying to get those yellow stains out of our XR tank, so let's see what we got. So right here is our XR100 tank, and actually this is the side we've already been trying a couple different things on with wet sanding and some little grit in our wax and trying to buff it, and it actually has gotten better. And we just did some bleach on it and it didn't really do much. We're kind of at this point here, we got to try something else. So we are using baking soda and water. What they pretty much tell you to do is you're gonna put your baking soda in some type of container, put enough water in there, just enough to where it turns into a paste, and then we're going to apply it in circular motions onto the tank to where it provides a nice layer. Then we're going to let it dry, and we're going to remove it and see what happens. A lot of times those tough yellow stains is usually due to excess heat or even just good old natural sunlight, just baking on that thing for a long time now. Since this is a 98, she's a little old, so we're going to hopefully get these yellow stains out, get it close. We want to keep the tank OEM. Even if it isn't perfect, we're just going to deal with it. And we actually have a OEM style graphics kit for this that we're going to put on to mock the original graphics that came on this. So as long as we get that tank pretty close, we're just going to deal with it. It is what it is. Like someone said in the comments, she ain't winning no prizes. Just going to get her to look good, and then we're going to ride the crap out of this thing. And dip our little bristle pad in there. Soak some of that up. And we're just going to apply that on. Ooh, might be a little runny for their taste. We'll see what happens. Alright, our paste is dry down here now for the most part. We're going to try scrubbing it, see what happens. But it doesn't look like it's really done anything. Looks like about the same. I mean, it doesn't look bad, to be honest. Still has a little yellow in it. Maybe we'll try it one more time. Doesn't look bad. It's definitely not brand new, which we know we're not going to get. Ooh, that's pasting up really nice now. Try this again. All right, so we've been working at this tank for a little bit, guys, and you can see if you get close enough, there is just a little bit more yellow. Actually, I thought the video was going to make the tank look better, and actually in person, it looks better than this. Like the video is bringing out a little bit of the yellow in here, but actually, you really don't see much of that in person. The graphics are going to cover up a decent portion of this, and it's nice is that the tank is actually separate from what your new plastics will be, so it won't be butted up right against some fresh plastic, I don't think. So that'll help, you know, kind of not look too awkward. And again, it's a 98, so to have this type of condition OEM tank, it's actually not bad at all. So we're going to switch to the other side that we have not touched in the video at all. And this is what we were dealing with from the beginning. So now we'll see how good that baking soda actually works. Well, let's get at her. So we're going to put on that first layer, guys, real quick, and then we'll come back and we'll see what the results are. All right, so we started working at it, and it's actually starting to take some of the yellow off. But what we're going to do next is we put a little bleach actually in there with our baking soda, and we're going to see if that helps remove this a little bit easier. We'll see what happens. And I think we did that. I'm not for sure when I had the tank on its side, but now I'm going to have to take some light sandpaper and kind of just sand that out. So that'll be a little bit imperfection, but again, it looks like, judging by the outline here, that'll hopefully be like right there on the graphic, which will get covered up. All right, guys, we got this tank looking halfway decent. That's where our scuff was. We got most of it sanded out, and we're gonna hope that this compound wax that we're gonna use, it has a little grit in it, it's gonna help. Still a little bit of yellow on the bottom, but it's honestly not bad, guys. And considering what it used to look like, that's pretty darn good. This side actually came out a little bit better, but mine has bad yellow stains on it maybe. But that side looks super good. And I saved you guys like all the video time. It just took a lot of scrubbing on this thing. And actually at the very end here, we took a 1500 grit sandpaper to it and went lightly over some spots here where that were still stained. And it took most of it out. Same thing, we scuffed this scratch here. And we actually ran out of 1500, which is why that's still like that. And all we have is 2000, and it's just taking forever to get that to come out. So we're going to hope that the wax takes the rest of it out. But at this point, we're just hoping to get a good shine, and hopefully it looks way better. If you've seen the tank before, like I said, this is a big improvement, and we're going to roll with it. We got our graphics coming on. It's going to be really good. And I don't know if it was because the level of the staining that was on this tank or what it was. It just wasn't a simple apply and wipe off the yellow, guys. You had to work at it. So we took our Scotch-Brite pad and just kept on working at that thing, cleaning it off, redoing it, letting it sit on there, and it just finally came clean. We actually used this Chemical Guys orange degreaser on there, which also seemed to work pretty darn good. So I think the main key is just using that Scotch-Brite pad that has a good, rough texture to it, and just keep on going on it with some chemicals. I don't know if baking soda was the answer to this, but really just getting at it, with the good chemical and all that was key. Now, our buffer is down, so the only thing we have is this buffer ball right now, which actually probably not the worst thing because it'll keep our RPMs low, and dealing with plastic and all that, it's not a bad thing. And we have this wax here called Rejuvenator by Malco, and it's done us really good on doing like prep work on some of our paint with trailers being faded and all that. It's a really good compound. It's got a little bit of grit in there, so we're going to try it on the tank. We did a little spot earlier. It seemed to bring out a shine on it pretty good, so we're going to really get at it now, get the whole tank hopefully shining, looking halfway decent, and when those decals come in, we'll be slapping those things on. So let's see what this does for us. Alright guys, there's our tank. Doesn't look too shabby. That's what I'm talking about. That's a good tank for our bike. This is going to make this build look super sick with this OEM tank on there. That's how we like it. Alright guys, but that's it for today's video and all that. I appreciate you guys watching. Stay tuned because this XR build is only going to get better from here. This is just some of the small work that we got to get done before we actually start putting everything back together. Next, we'll be doing the big bore on our motor and redoing that. Getting that thing ready to go, running crisp. And then we got to shoot our frame. We got to paint our frame with some KBS 2K paint that we got. That should come out pretty good. Staying with that nice factory white. Gonna look clean, gonna look right, gonna look good. You know what I mean? So appreciate you watching. But until next time, we'll see you later.